So today we're going to move the banana wind into the driveway we're going to drop the keel. So right now you're about to watch a little montage of moving the boat in the yard. From the yard to the driveway. And then from there we're going to drop the keel. So here we go. Banana wind has officially been moved from one side of the yard to the other. But for a very good reason, because over here it's a little more shady to work in. Also, if something were to happen, we're not close to the vehicles. Vehicles are over here. So while trying to lift the boat, if something were to happen to the boat and the boat starts to fall off for some odd reason on the trailer, it won't. So, yeah. This is very sturdy. Okay, the bolt pattern is bolt to bolt, 9 inches. Well, from this bolt to these bolts is 9. And to the second one is 10.
And how about overall? From the very last bolt to the very first bolt.
Yard.
36 inches?
32.
32 inches. Okay, let me measure the keel. I'm just kind of suspicious there's another bolt hanging underneath the floorboard there.
That we don't know it.
Yeah, that I've never seen. There you go. Stay on in there. Go ahead, you can start taking them off. Got your wrench?
Yeah.
I'll measure that. You said 32, huh?
32.
Okay.
So now we try to rip these freaking bolts off. It's hard, right?
Yeah, it is.
And it's just that one. The other 4 have been fine.
Maybe it got bonged up somehow.
Well, do you think maybe that bolt was in the water more?
Yeah, they're stainless. I I'm going to tighten it back up. Get another run at it.
It's stuck. So now the issue we're having is that bolt that he's trying to retighten right now is stuck. Can't get it to tighten, can't get it to loosen. It's just stuck.
That guy's hot.
From all the turning.
Yeah.
So now we're on the last bolt. That one should be pretty easy.
Yeah, look at that. Maybe I could have just tightened up the heel bolts and stopped the leak. This particular Keel bolt has silicone put around it. Just kind of squirted on there to stop it from leaking, I suppose. Okay, like I said before, last week, it appeared somebody tried to stop the leaking by placing epoxy around the keel bolt washers. And here's some of it right here. Big glob of stuff. Look at that one.
Holy crap.
They must have figured it was really leaking. They put extra stuff on that one.
But epoxy may temporarily fix it, but it's not a permanent fix. That's the important lesson to learn.
Look at that baby.
Oh. And it's just coming off with your barely sharp pocket knife.
Yeah.
It's weakened epoxy.
Little bit of epoxy around the backing plates. A little bit of silicone around the nut. Stop a leak every time.
But it's not a permanent fix, right? Epoxy should never be used as a permanent fix. Maybe as a partial fix for the time being until you can figure out a solution. But other than that, they shouldn't be. Done like that.
Okie dokie. I believe we have all the bolts off. Unless there's something hiding back here.
Because when we measured from bolt to bolt, it was 32 inches. But when we measured the keel, it was 45 inches. Correct?
Yeah.
So we could be wrong, and it might not be completely unbolted. But we're about to find out.
See if she'll drop.
Okay, I'm gonna... That's a good thing, though. See it down there? She's a leaking.
Where's the mic in the front?
Well, there's one here, and then there's a...
Can I hear both of them?
Yeah, you can. They can hear both of them.
Oh, okay.
The one back here, though, this one's more of a noise canceling for when you're on a phone call. So...
Okay, we got all the keel bolts off now, and the water's running out of the keel, or out of the void between the keel and the hull. We're going to start lifting the boat now. The first thing, I think I'll put a jack stand underneath the back of the trailer because it has a tendency to want to tip up on me. That'll be good. All right, we got help. Okay. Corey and I are gonna start raising the boat up off the keel
Using
the pads on the trailer. My son Sean came over. He's gonna help us raise the boat a few inches off the keel, and I believe the keel is just going to sit there because it's flat as a pancake on the bottom.
You want me to go on that side?
Yeah. We're going to do it by raising the trailer pads. Hopefully we can get 3 or 4 inches out of it.
How long are the bolts?
Yeah, I don't know if they're long enough, to be honest with you. The ones in the front are, but I don't know about the rear ones. Oh, look at that. gap. We already got it opened up like 2 inches. No problem at all. Let's go to the back stanchions.
I'm not even touching.
Let's just go to the very last one, Sean.
I'm on the very last one. Oh. It only has one bolt in the front.
Oh, you know what I did?
You snap one off.
No, I forgot to release the cable in the front. Oh, is it tight?
Doink.
There. I think we have enough. Boy, it's pretty easy, huh?
So far. What's that, 2 inches up there?
Yeah, looks like we got her pretty good. I don't want to lift the boat completely off the studs. The way the keel will stay lined up where it belongs.
There. Now what, boss?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to.
Oh look, there's some holes in it already. Oh, that must be where they poured it at, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's threaded.
It's threaded?
Yeah. It's full of water.
Wonder what it could be threaded for.
Maybe that's just a fitting where they poured the lead into the mold or something.
Okay, as you can see, we have the keel lifted about, I'm gonna guess 2.5 inches. Like I said before, I watched about 3 to 4 other boats try to lift their keel, and this is by far the easiest one. This was so easy, I can't believe it. Other people I saw pounding on it with wedges and sawing on it with reciprocating saws.
Doing whatever they
Saw
can
to
do.
get a sawzall under there, but I didn't have to do any of that. It just separated. So I think this will make a big difference once that dries off a little bit, and I'll get some sandpaper in there and do some sanding on it. And they say to use 5200 on it, 3M 5200. I have 3M 4200, and I guess it's the 4200 is less of a adhesive and more of a sealant than the 5200. I think either one will be equally good. Well, this was, all the more of this leaked, it only sunk once a week or so. I could probably seal it with roofing tar, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a break.
All right.
Yeah. Here's one of the backing plates off of our keel, and it actually has, I don't know if you can tell if it's pink. It's pink Bondo that they use to try to stop the keel from leaking. Oh, it's falling apart. And I believe there's last week when I was showing the state of the keel, why there was a pink Bondo under there too on the joint. It may have worked temporarily, I don't know, but couldn't have worked for long. Here's what she looks like with the bolts out and the keel lifted. Well, the boat's actually lifted off of the keel. I'm going to leave the keel bolts sticking into the hull a little bit so that I don't have to try repositioning it. That's only 1,300 pound keel. That isn't bad, but it's more than I can handle, I believe. I watched another guy, I believe he had an S2 sailboat, and his holes from the keel rocking side to side for so long,
Here, you want me to?
his keel bolt holes were oblong. It's good to get first things first. Now the next job after maybe tomorrow when this is all done, I'm going to go after the Genoa car track. I think it's leaking water like crazy. I've checked the windows. It looks like he's got them siliconed up pretty tight. But I don't know if you can see, this thing's got water in. We had a late rain and this thing's got water in it already. It's got to be, I think, the Genoa track. Boy, what a mess. It does have this crack.
Oh. Oh, that needs fixed.
Yeah. That. You videoing this?
Mm-hmm.
Right now? So it seems like the whole leading edge is cracked, and I thought I heard a soft spot in here somewhere, delaminated spot.
Microphone's over here.
Maybe have it tilted a little bit towards like that.
It was on the other side.
I don't think I'll worry about it. I'm just gonna fix this.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Got a little goober back here. Yeah, look at that. It's full of Bondo. Bondo again. Pink Bondo. For sure, for sure. I wonder what it is. It's flaking apart. Got paint down in there.
With your skin.
I will fix that. I'm delaminating it myself. Picking at it. Well, other than these couple spots here, it seems good enough to me. I can't get the stern of the boat high enough to drop the rudder out, I don't think. I got the tongue sitting on the ground.
Jack up the trailer. Should have the keel put back together first.
Yeah, I think after I get the keel reinstalled, I'll have to raise the whole trailer up in order to drop the rudder down. I think maybe tomorrow I'll finish up on the keel and try raising the boat up. Yeah, I know I can raise the boat up. I've done it. Other boats on this trailer before.